Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab, real early in the morning, doing what I do for you. But got something for you. I wrapped up the lesson I had yesterday. I had to cut short, but I'm about to get it to you, finish it up, wrap it up for you. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Maat, be true. I had to wrap up the lesson with Maat, so we're going to wrap up. Okay, right thinkers, let's talk about learning more about Maat. I'm going to introduce you to, I'm going to break down Mayate, and I'm going to take you to the forms of Djehuti, my man. These are my two favorite guys and goddesses, so I'm going to have fun with this. Let's go. Remember, Maat is a philosophy of spiritual symbols as well as what they call cosmic energy, the force, which pervades the entire universe. When George Lucas did Star Wars, he built a whole series around the concept of the force, and knowing thyself was become a Jedi warrior. Loved it. Why? When I was in solitary confinement, I read the book Return of the Jedi. So I had a little different perception about it in my mind. The movie was way different. So if you ever read a book and you go see the movie, oh, it's going to be different. But it's good to get an understanding. I did that with the book, so it gave me a little better understanding. And then I started, he said he took it, so he ain't still nothing. He just used it. Moving on. But Maat, she is the symbolic embodiment of world order. Strong. Justice. Righteousness. Correctness. Harmony. And peace. These are all the things that she represents. That if you practice those qualities in yourself, you will be a better person. And she got 42 Navy confessions that she can help you out with that if you practice will also raise your consciousness and make you a better individual within yourself. Masons give you tools. My give you tools too. Principles and philosophies. She is also known. Watch this. How you know Maat? Quick picture. You see that lady with that feather? And you know a feather is light, right? Feather, it don't move. If you ever see that feather don't waver, and that means she consistent, persistent, and she ever going on the same. Ain't changing. Watch this. I love this. She's my girl. Watch this. Where's she at? Just okay. She is also known by her headdress with the feather, which symbolizes what? The feather symbolizes quality that we just mentioned. And those what's gonna be weighed against your character gotta weigh against all those things that Maat represent. That's how you light in your heart. That's how you purify the heart, by doing those things. I ain't a teacher. I ain't a preacher, but I'm teaching you things you can do. I ain't telling you a whole bunch of praise or that. No, you need to do these things. Why? If not, You'll figure it out in a few lifetimes. She is a form of the goddess Aset, who represents what? Wisdom and spiritual awakening, intuitive knowledge through balance and equanimity. That means thinking of both hemispheres of your brain for those. What do you mean? Equal balance. Right, wrong. If you know right from wrong, then you got the opportunity and the choice. You're 50% right and wrong in the choice that you're going to make in life. The casinos don't give them odds. I'll take 50-50 shots. If they're 50-50 shots, if this was wrong, well, this must be right. Hey. Get back to lesson. So it's real easy. Moving on. And for only when there is what? Whoa. We up here. Sorry about that. Is she in? Okay. Right. Here we go. In ancient, if we use this philosophy, that guy that we got up in the White House wouldn't be nowhere in sight. Watch. This is what I'm going to tell you about. This is the best part right here. Ancient Egypt, the judges, the politicians, and all those connected in the judicial system. You hear me? All those connected to the judicial system were initiated into the teachings of Maat. Why? Because those who would discharge the laws and regulations of society, the law distributors, were well trained in what? Moral and ethical and spiritual, mystical values of life. They had principles that set forth, that they stood on, that kept them what? Straight and narrow. So they helped everybody else to do the same thing. I'm telling you, do this, do that, do that. If I'm not doing it, how the hell I expect you to do it? But yet, I can do wrong and be the president. I can be wrong and get everything done. That's crazy to me. In this philosophy, that would never happen. That's why. Moving on. Just want to get that in there. And where we at? The fairness. Watch this. Ancient times, all that was done because what? You in life, you have values. Fairness. Justice. And the responsibility to serve and promote harmony in what? In society, as well as the possibility for spiritual development in any atmosphere or freedom to what? Obtain peace. Are we living in that kind of society? Hell to the no. It ain't close. But they live a philosophy that I'm trying to teach, and I've been living for the last 20 years, and it's doing me just fine. Moving on. And for only, watch this is the coup de grace right here. For only when there is justice, fairness, in where? Society. In the White House, or whoever's in control, government. Until there's fairness in society, can there be any abiding, what? Harmony and peace? Where we going now ain't ever going to happen. Harmony and peace are what? Two things necessary for what? The pursuit of true happiness and to have inner fulfillment in your life. You are endowed to those things. We have been having that take away from us as black people. We've been enslaved. We've been mistreated. And to this very day, we're still going through the same thing in a different form. And it don't bother them. Why? They the ones who doing it. They're not going to change. I keep telling you that. Moving on. Let's talk about Maat. So I get back to the lesson. This is the part I want you to understand. Maat signifies. See that thing right there? Pedestal, right? This is Ptah, the god Ptah. See what he's standing on? Ra stands on the same thing, okay? Everybody stands on Maat. Maat signifies that which is straight. I ain't going. I got a nice story for that, but this ain't the time for that. But two symbols of Maat that need to be recognized. One is that ostrich feather that don't move. Don't sway, don't bend it, no, it don't do jack. Okay, straight. And the pedestal, the level. Masons, once you're born into the level of time, life, you become a player of this game called life. Again, I'm moving. I ain't going. I'm trying to get my massage and stuff. I ain't got to teach that right now. But she represents the pedestal, and that's the sign for her. Now, upon which what? She represents the pedestal upon which God stands on. The supreme being. In the form of God, you got Atum, you got Asar, you got Ptah, and are often depicted what? All standing on Maat, the pedestal. If you're a Mason, had your feet together, you be on the square. I got 3 of them. It's the master's number. Okay, the Trinity. All that good stuff. If you start learning the subliminal, the symbolism and stuff that present, you'll be saying, ooh, yeah, you start recognizing stuff. The last thing they want the general public to do is give them aware of that. That's what they keep doing it to you. They know you don't know, so they keep on doing it. Again, when somebody's doing something that's not good for you, they're not going to stop. You have to stop them. Get the concept? Moving on. Maat was considered to be the daughter of Ra. Okay? The high god in the Anuyan theory. Thus, in a hymn to Ra, this is what was said. The land of Manu, which is the West. They call it West where you go to die. And if you didn't get knowledge of self, you ain't going to the West. You're going to reincarnate. So when you die, the physical body stays here. Your spirit goes below the body. It ain't going to the West. So the West was a sacred place. The West, which received what? With what? Satisfaction. If you passed the scales of Maat, you made it to the West. And the goddess Maat, we rate there what? Well, to embrace thee what? Both at morn and in the evening. She's always there. And what? The god Djehuti, we'll learn about him in a minute. Some people say they were husband and wife. No, they wasn't. They philosophies that just go together. I'm going to break that down for you in a minute. That's how I keep trying to make that clear. I see a few people teaching. I'm like, I grind my gear, so I got to let it go. The god Djehuti, okay, and the goddess Maat have written down what? The daily course of thee, what? Every day. They control the course of nature. Remember, she's creation. Djehuti, what? He's God's what? Mind and heart. They go together. That's why. Why is this? When you see Djehuti in the boat, when you see Ra in the boat, he got 2 people with him. I'm about to show you that. He don't need, in the daytime, he don't need no whole bunch of people, right? Everything is cool. You got temperate. But you see, I'm going to show you the boat right here. This is considered the celestial boat. You see 3 people in the boat that's going up over Newt. That's lesson coming up, but this is a future lesson. I wanted to show you what the boat that Maat is in. You see right there, he got 2 people in that boat with him. You got Ra in the middle. You see the guy with the funny hat? That's Djehuti. You see lady with the feather? That's Maat. She's at the front of the boat. Okay? She leads the way, so to speak. Okay? And let's go. I got some more for you. This is good. Hope you understand this. And now, you got a hymn from the papyrus of the Kina, which provide a deeper insight, more into Maat. They say it, but this is going to be more complicated because it's going to have to be understood. A lot of people won't. Watch this. It says, I have come to thee, O Lord of gods, Temu, Haru, Djehuti, whom Maat directeth. Amen, Ra, rest upon Maat. Ra lives by Maat, so do I. Asar carries the philosophy of Maat to earth in his lifetime. He practices and stands on Maat. You have the principles that set forth for everything. That's remember, she's a principle, but we give her identity to philosophically understand it. One more lesson about Maat. Let me wrap this up. Maat is the daughter of Ra, and she was with him in his celestial boat. I just showed you the picture that I knew he was coming here. I want to give you. Now imagine when he go out in the daytime, coming the sun transverse from across the sky. He got Maat with him. He got Djehuti with him. He got the order and justice and everything what Maat represents, and he got to keep his mind Djehuti with him. Djehuti and Maat gonna always be around. Ra. Why? Those his personal bodyguards, so to speak. Watch. Maat, the daughter of Ra, and she's with him in the celestial boat. And when he first emerged from the primeval waters, along with his company of gods and goddesses. She is also known, watch this, as the Eye of Ra. But she ain't the destructive one. No, he got another one for that. She was known as the Eye of Ra, Lady of Heaven. These is titles. Queen of the Earth. This is my titles. Mistress, of the netherworld. Even in the afterlife, she's there. And the Lady of the Gods and Goddesses. Now, that ain't a bad mamma jamma. I don't know what it is. And Maat also has a dual form. What? Yeah, she come in dual form too. How about this? Called Maati. Maati. In her capacity of God, Maat is also, she's Maat, which means what? Ceaselessness and regularity of the course of what? The sun. Tell you. In essence, the universe. She keeps everything in order. Everything is run by Maat. And in the form of Maati, watch this, she represents the south and the north. In Egypt, south is up, north is down. We ain't going there. They said we backwards, we say they're backwards. Moving on. But that's the difference. And it symbolizes upper and lower. Remember, we said south first. South is up, north is down. Egypt, as well as the what? The higher self and the lower self. The body is considered to be Egypt. Just like the Bible, it's you. If you understood it like that, then you'll see everything that's in there. Yeah, it's about you. Moving on. They won't tell you that. I don't care. I tell you the truth. Don't make a difference to me. Maat is the what? Personification of what? You ready? Justice and righteousness, upon which God has created the universe. And Maat is also the essence of God and creation. She's a bad girl. Female aspect. Therefore, it is who? Maat, who judges what? The soul when it arrives in the judgment hall of Maat. She's right there. What's this? Sometimes Maat herself becomes what? The scales to justice. Okay? To judge your soul. And the scales upon which the heart of all initiates is judged. Mr. Cart, no exceptions. Everybody's heart will be judged. That's Judgment Day. We ain't here to judge nobody in the flesh. I ain't about judging a damn thing. Could care less what you do, how you do. That ain't my call at all. But you got to be responsible. When it's your turn to be judged, you need to be judging yourself, because that's who's going to judge you. That's my concept. That's the philosophy. And it's so true. Wow. Who knows you better than you? They say God dwells in the heart of man. Okay, that's what they judge. They've been knowing that. That's what y'all saying now. They knew that thousands of years ago. Moving on. Maat, again, judges what? The heart. Your unconscious mind, which is the part that's got to connect with your conscious mind. You make that marriage, heart, mind, coherence. If that don't happen in your life, you don't make that marriage, you won't make it past the scales of Maat. Of the initiate, watch this, of the initiate in a what? In an attempt to what? To determine to what extent, watch this, here's the coup de grace right here, I'm breaking it home. To what extent the heart has lived in accordance with, yes, Maat, or truth, correctness, reality, genuineness, uprightness, righteousness, virtuous, justice, steadfastness, and the unadulterated nature of creation, aka thyself. These are all the qualities that you can control, that you have total control over. I was gonna wrap it up. I got one more page. Let's go. God damn it. We in the halls of Maat. How about that? You see right there, this is how it's set up. Everybody see the mural at Judgment Day. This is the concept right here. You see the scale, you see the baboon, that's Djehuti in the baboon form. If you see the top of the scales, that's Maat up there, she's there. But the two people you see right there, the twin girls, the Maat, I'm about to explain them to you. And on the side over there, that's you watching, standing by. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Set the straight for you. Let's talk about who is Maat. Mayate. Who are the Mayate goddesses? Yeah, yours truly, the twin serpents, Aset and Nephet. What's this? Now, in the segment above I just showed you, we introduced the idea of opposites in creation in the Hall of Mayat, known as the Hall of Judgment. Okay? Of what? The heart. They didn't care about nothing else. The inside went into for not the job, but the brain threw it away. Why? This consciousness is only good when the flesh is alive. The information that's stored is in the heart. That's what they judge after you die. Simple. So all that think you're going before, man, that's stupid. Stop believing everything somebody say and get some information that's correct. That's all. There's a whole lot of information. It's your job to be discernible of what's good and what's right or wrong information. Moving on. But the halls of Maya, I just gave you a little breakdown. I just showed you the picture of two Mayate goddesses who preside over the judgment of the heart in the Pertem Haru. The goddess Aset and Nephet have a special relationship to the Mayate goddesses. Why? Because the ancient Egyptian texts revealed that these same two goddesses are none other than Aset and Nephet. As stated earlier, Aset and Nephet are depicted as looking exactly like, hence the twins. And the only difference between them are their headdress. Aset wears the throne outwardly, Nephet wears the throne upside down, aka inwardly. One is internal, one is external. Watch this. However, the essential meaning of their symbols is inverted. That is what the goddess are in reality, just one inverted image of each other. Thus, they are complementary goddess principles, nature, immortality, which operates to what? Manifest life, death, life or the cycle of birth, death, rebirth, known as, you ready? Reincarnation. If you didn't pass the test, you're going to get reincarnated. Moving on, they was in charge of that. And the two daughters, goddesses, Aset and Nephet, of all righteousness and truth. They represent Mayat in that aspect. Aset and Nephet are also known as Rekhti, Rekhtti, and that's the two goddesses. They manifest in what? In Judgment Hall of Mayat, in the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day as Mayate, or the double Mayat goddesses, who watch over. Okay, they're the guardians, watching over what? The heart of the initiate, you, the Asar, in their name are Sati, Marat, Murti, Arati, Nepti, Mayate. That means Asat and Nephet are the basis of what? Judgment of the soul and the criterion which decides its faith in life as well as death. They give you every aspect of your character right up until death. And guess what? Even after. That's what they call the afterlife. Y'all call it heaven. Wrapping it up. I see the clock. I got to get this in. I'm not done. This right here, my dude, Djehuti. My number one student, my right thinker, this is his nickname. But I met him 6 years ago now. I gave him that name. He just asked me, well, how did you know? That's the wise man's job, to know. I break down the forms of Djehuti for you right quick. Djehuti is the symbol of what? Right reasoning, right thinking. That's God's mind. He represents your mind. The link to the higher self, okay? When the determination to pursue what? Your divine arises within you, you are now having a struggle between what? It's called the holy war against what? Ignorance and illusions within one's consciousness from the ego. If this process is not understood as a struggle to what? Overcome these negative qualities. Anger, hatred, greed, bigotry, jealousy. I can go on, but I'm stopped there. Where all these are bad qualities within yourself. And no, I just read all those qualities. I see that in Captain Chaos, the guy that we call the president. Okay? Those are not good qualities. And I just gave him Man of the Year. Really? Moving on. I can't get past that one. And the energy of the struggle becomes directed to what? The world outside of oneself in the form of political, religious, social, ethnic, gender, etc. conflicts. We're right there now. But because we don't practice Maat, we don't live righteous, the people that's in charge don't pass no scrutiny tests. They all do what they want, when they want, how they want. That's called chaos. When there's no order, you got chaos. That's why I call him Captain Chaos, because that's what you're going to get from him. Wrapping it up. Let's go. I see the clock. This is going to be a little minute. And my man said, well, I'm almost home. The struggle between, I gave this lesson so many times, Haru, that's the higher you, Set, that's the ego, lower you. Haru, lower Egypt, Set, upper Egypt. Remember, flip the script. North is down here, south is up here. Get the concept, moving on. And what happened? Between those two, it don't end with either what? Destroying. I hear people say, y'all so-called third eye open activators, you gotta kill your ego. No, listen. Neither one of them destroying the other. Why? Haru pursues the path of reason, seeking counsel, Djehuti, which the reasoning of what? Again, Djehuti. Wisdom follows what? Exercise of reason, and reason follows the practice of what? Studying, something I do daily, and something that I would recommend, and questioning whatever you study, and then learning and reflecting, and then inquiring into the nature of what? Truth. That's all I want. Young people, give them the truth. That's what I'm saying. Set, watch this. The lower self refuses to abide with the decree of wisdom. But he, that ego, is eventually what? Sublimated through his own humiliation and ignorance. In the end, what happened? When the aspirant you are aligned with all your divine forces, you defeated your ego self, your lower self can now what? No longer fight or struggle. Why? He got to give in. And the overwhelming force of the higher self, of the divine, will push the lower self, what? Into position of what? You ready? Servitude, service, rather than mastership. If your ego is running you, you will have constant fetters. Those are problems that you cause to yourself due to your ignorance of your higher self. Hello? Real simple. I'm about to wrap it up. Now, Djehuti, again, and this is what? Its rightful place. Your ego should be a service to you, not leading you. Moving on. A lot of people see it the other way. Djehuti also represents what? The moon. In this capacity, he is also what? The minister of Ra. As the what? Moon's light is the reflection of the sunlight. So too, the intellectual capacity, your ability to think right, of the mind is just a reflection of what? Your spirit consciousness. To the extent that one is in touch with the spirit, to the extent one is now able to exercise what? His or her higher intellect by implementing what they know, practicing it. Okay? Thus, Djehuti really represents what? Your intellectual capacity of what? Every human being. He represents purity of what? Thought. Right thinking. And as such, all right thinkers, aspirants, should personally engage in spiritual disciplines that what? Promote purity of the mind by what? Acting with my girl, Maat, in daily study of what? Your spiritual scriptures, y'all call it the Bible, whatever you want to do. I got a bunch of books I study from, but that's what I do. And what? It represents all these things, intellectual capacity. Okay, yeah. Study spiritual scriptures, practice daily meditation, and worship what? The divine, aka God. When you do those things, you are an enlightened spiritual being. So whatever somebody think, feel about you, don't matter. Why? Because that's the one that's really important that you need to be appealing to. That's my lesson. That's my message. Hope you got it. Oh, I got some good stuff coming up. We just getting started. Remember, I'm teaching now. Class will resume in a few minutes. Right now, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. But you know the deal. If you know you, we'll meet again.